My name is Gina Paulus, and I'm excited to welcome you today to the Homebodies Fitness Show. Today we have a super special guest. We have Alan Mondragon.
Hello.
Alan is excited to learn a new workout today that will help him with his goals of weight loss and toning, right?
Yes, indeed I do.
Something that you want to get into?
Yes.
Cool. So we're going to give him a custom routine that he can do in a pretty short amount of time, but still allow him to reach his weight loss goals. So, are you ready?
Yes.
Awesome. I'm going to have you start out, Alan, in a push-up position,
Okay.
right on the mat. We're not going to do push-ups, though. We're actually just going to hold this, and this is going to be great for your stomach muscles. Okay, so oops, you're going to go ahead and hold that for me. Perfect. Now, as you're holding that, let's actually keep arms really straight, and I want you to think about having a long neck, like a turtle with its head kind of popping out. You can drop your chin a bit. Perfect, and you're going to hold it just like that. How does this feel?
I'm feeling the burn. I like it.
A little bit of a burn. Cool, cool. Awesome. So we're going to try to hold for about 15 more seconds. And as we're doing it, we want to keep an eye on his lower back. So I'm going to place my clipboard right at the top of your low back. You want to try to touch that with your back. Perfect. And we're going to finish up here with 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and relax.
All right.
Beautiful job.
Thank
So
you.
it's great to start our workout with core work. And one of the reasons is when we do core work for our abs, we're actually teaching the rest of our body to have a better flexibility. So what that means is if you have a little bit of trouble with range of motion in your arms or in your legs, by doing the core first, we're actually going to have improved flexibility for the rest of the session.
See what you mean.
Pretty cool deal, right?
Yes.
Awesome. So that was working the front of his core, and now we're going to do a movement that will work more the sides. So I'll show you how that one goes. You'll be on one elbow, and you'll have your legs staggered so that your top leg is forward of the bottom one.
Okay.
You're going to try to hold yourself up on your side like this. This is a little bit of a harder move for a lot of people. So if it's too much, you can always do it with your legs bent like that, and you'll be able to adjust and modify that way. So go ahead and give that one a shot, Alan.
All right.
Okay. Perfect. Yep, and you're going to press right on up. Beautiful job. And you're holding this. Very, very good. How are we doing with this so far?
It's feeling good. I like this.
Cool. How's your shoulder? Did you feel a lot of pressure in it?
Yes, I do.
Okay, sweet. Let's do 5 seconds more. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. You can go ahead and switch sides. We'll stay facing the same way. So you want to spin around so you're always facing front. So you'll put your left elbow down there. Perfect. Sweet. And we'll have the top leg forward of the bottom. Yep, and pressing up. Now, I will say most people have a pretty significant difference from their left to their right sides on this plank. Do you feel one side is weaker?
I definitely feel a difference.
Is this side harder for you?
Yes.
Okay. You're doing a great job. So we can do the bent leg if that is better for you on this side. Don't worry about that. We want to try to continue to hold this for 5 seconds more. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on down. Great. Now, some people will find that that movement bothers their elbow a little bit. If it does, you can always pad your elbow with a pillow or an extra yoga mat if needed.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so let's move into a little bit more with the strengthening. So with the strengthening, we're going to do an exercise called the T-bar row to start out. T-bar row goes like this. You're going to bend your knees a little bit. You're going to fold your body halfway down, interlace your fingers around a weight, and you're going to pull up, and you're going to lower down slowly. You'll notice that I'm staring right at the mat, and that's what you want to do in order to keep your neck in a good position. All right, so I'm going to have you try that with just one weight. You'll try that with one of those weights there. And what we'll do for setup is knees slightly bent. You're going to hinge forward, interlace those fingers. You want to hold the weight the other way. Perfect. We're going to row it right to our upper abdomen, so kind of like below the chest.
Okay.
Perfect. And then lower it nice and slow. Beautiful job. Let's try to push this part of your back forward towards the ground. Beautiful. Yeah. You could bend those knees a little bit more for me. Good, good, good. Nice. So even just holding this position is a lot of work, of course. He's doing a great job. Nice job. This is good to strengthen the back as well as the hamstrings and the mid-back muscles. It even strengthens the biceps a little bit. So let's try 3 more of these. As you're pulling, I want you to think about elbows back. almost going behind your body.
Okay.
Perfect. 1 and 2, and then 1 more. Beautiful. Sweet. All right, so we're good with that one. I did want to go over some breathing work with that too. So as you're rowing the weight, you want to exhale and then inhale down. Exhale, inhale. And the reason we're doing that is it helps us manage pressure in our body and also make sure that we're getting the amount of oxygen that we would need to really fuel our muscles throughout the workout.
Definitely.
Do you find that you normally breathe well when you work out, or do you tend to hold your breath?
I tend to hold my breath.
Yeah.
So
A lot of people do
that.
that. A lot of people do that while they're concentrating or while they are doing something that's challenging. And of course, there are times when we need to hold our breath because we're doing something that's super, super hard. But when you are working out, it's really good to be able to train yourself to breathe so that you're able to have better endurance to last through the session.
Yes.
So you can work on that in the next move.
All right.
We'll be trying push-ups next. So go ahead and set up in your push-up just like you had before. But this time we're actually going to go ahead and bend the arms. Okay. And I'd like you to try 6 of them for me.
All right.
And you're going to do inhale down, exhale push. Beautiful. Inhale down, exhale push. Perfect. Great breathing, Alan. Very nice. Nice. He's pretty good at these. Sweet. Awesome job. Cool. So for that movement, you saw that he kept a nice straight body. As he got a little bit more tired, as it went on, you could see his butt kind of popping up just a little bit. So we can work on that more when we circle back and do these again. But for that first round, that was really good. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to hop back into a second set of the T-bar row with the dumbbell. We're going to try that one more time.
All righty.
Okay, so he'll think of the breathing on this time.
Bend the knees.
Bend the knees, exactly, and then you'll row that weight right to your chest. Beautiful. Pushing this part of your back forward so we have a nice straight spine. Good. Nice. So remember, inhale as you lower and exhale, pull. There you go.
Sometimes I do it backwards.
You know what? That happens to a lot of people, and you're not alone. It's super common, but we want to just keep reminding ourselves whenever we pull the weight away from gravity or push it away from gravity, we want to exhale. Exhale on the exertion. That's how I keep it straight. I'm a trainer and even I forget sometimes. So exhale away from gravity. Inhale as we go back toward gravity is a nice way to keep it straight. Let's do last 2. Beautiful. And 1 more. Very nice. And you can set the weight back down. So you'll see when we do these 2 sets, we're going back and forth, back and forth. He's not getting a lot of rest. Okay. Now, if we don't get a lot of rest between the sets, we're getting more of a cardio effect and more of a fat burning effect. We're still getting the strengthening from the weights, but by reducing the rest period, we are getting a better weight loss result from this type of workout.
Yes,
okay?
It's pretty awesome. I feel good.
You already feel like you're getting a little bit of burn. Cool. So let's do a second set of push-ups with you. Go ahead and show me six more.
Alrighty.
And we will work on that, and then making sure that your butt stays nice and flat as you're doing this. Okay, so inhale down, exhale push, beautiful job. Great. Now, if anybody at home can't do this type of push-up, you're free to go onto your knees. That's a great way if this one's a little bit too much for you right off the bat. No problem with that. Beautiful job. Let's do last one. Yeah, his form already looks better. Really nice. Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right, so moving on, we'll do a bit of leg work here. So we'll start this movement without the weights and kind of see how he's doing with this. So you'll start here, and then what you'll do is you'll step back, and then return, and then other side. Okay, so just alternating like that, seeing how low you can go with that knee near the mat.
Okay.
And you have hands right on your hips. So these are reverse lunges. You saw that I did them. Yeah, you're facing the right way, and then you can just step back and bend down, and then feet back together. Yep, good. And then switch sides. Perfect. Now you can keep your heel in the air when you step back. Now it's going to help you to go lower.
Keep it
in the air. Yeah, perfect. That was really good. So back, and you want to step back nice and far to give yourself more room and space. Beautiful. Yeah, cool. So with this movement, we're getting more weight on just one leg, which makes it more difficult. So I usually start people without weights, but then once you get more comfortable with this, we could add some dumbbells for you. Okay? How's this one feeling?
It's feeling wonderful.
Not too hard for you?
It gives you, no.
What's that?
It doesn't give me a huge burn, but
No.
it's
Cool.
got me a little bit discombobulated.
Yes, I can
Gotta
see
get
the
acclimated to the
exactly, because
steps.
we're stepping backward. It's a little bit more challenging that way. I'm going to have you stop for just a second. Now I'm going to give you an alternative to this one. An alternative would be to step forward.
Okay.
And let's see if that one feels more natural for you. And then you'd push back. Beautiful. And the other way. Good. How do you like that one?
I like this one a lot better.
A little bit better?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's actually do that second kind, and I'll let you hold one weight in each hand. We can try that.
This way. Forward.
Good. Yeah, it's a little bit easier when we can see where we're going. Stepping backwards is a little bit new and different.
I actually kind of feel like the dumbbells are giving me a better balance.
You know what? That is very true. When we have dumbbells, it is easier to balance. So that is something where you'll actually benefit, make it more easy in some ways to add the weights.
Okay.
Cool. Let's do one more to each side. Beautiful. Cool. All right, you can put those back. Nice job. And one of the nice things about working our legs is when we work our legs, we're getting the highest calorie burn from any part of our body. So it's a good bang for your buck when you work your legs.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. So speaking of working legs, the next movement we're going to try is one called a stiff leg deadlift. So for that, you're going to stand with your knees just slightly bent. You're going to hold your weights right in front of your legs. You're going to pretend like you're shaving your legs with the weights. And then you're going to come up. So you want to stay super close to the legs. You probably shave your legs all the time, right?
Yeah, definitely. That's why I grinned.
We don't judge. Whatever people want to do is fine. But I say that because if I don't say shave your legs, this is what happens. People go out.
Yeah, I would have been confused.
You know what I mean? And so it makes it just, that
definitely get the
visual
gist
kind of
that way,
gives
yeah.
us that form. So go ahead and try that one.
All right.
So this one does strengthen our back and our hamstrings pretty well. And hold those weights right in front of your legs. You'll have your legs spaced a little bit wider than hips. Knees are bent.
Okay.
Keep your knees bent the whole time. Shave those legs and then come on up. Perfect. Make sure you keep your arms straight.
Should I come up all the way?
Yeah, so take a look at my arms. See how I don't bend them.
Okay.
Keep watching my arms. Oh, keep watching them. Come up all the way each time. Touch my hand with your shoulder and then go down. Perfect.
Okay.
There you go. Good. There you go. Awesome work. Yeah, so doing something like this helps fortify your lower back and keep it nice and strong so that you don't injure yourself if you go to lift something heavy, which I know Alan does have to lift heavy stuff sometimes. Perfect. Let's do last two of these. Beautiful. Nice. All right, you can place those back down. So Alan, do you ever injure your lower back? Does it ever hurt you?
No.
No. That's good. You're still young.
Yeah.
Once we get a little bit older, we'll have sometimes more pains and aches and stuff like that. So anybody who has hurt their back before, as long as you're cleared for exercise, a move like that's really, really great. Because if you strengthen those muscles, you're going to be much less likely to hurt your back. So,
Yes.
and it's good to be preventive as well. Even if we've never hurt our back, it's great to strengthen those muscles to prevent those issues from developing. So, all right, so then the next movement we will work on is an overhead shoulder press. For overhead shoulder press, I'm actually gonna have you do this one arm at a time, and the reason is when people do two arm, they tend to lean back a lot like this when they do it. So by doing the one arm at a time, you're gonna keep your knees slightly bent, you're gonna hold the weight here, you're gonna push straight up. By doing that, I find the form is just a lot better, and that way you're going to get more out of the movement.
Okay.
So you can grab one of those weights, and you'll stand right on the mat. We're gonna be facing forward, knees are slightly bent. You can have one hand on your hips, other hand goes here. You're gonna push that weight straight up, and you're gonna come down. You can either have palm forward, or you can have palm facing in. Whichever feels more comfortable is totally fine.
First one's comfortable.
Yeah, that looks great. Perfect. Nice job.
Thank you.
Good. As far as how heavy the weights, we would generally want to do a weight for, if you could do 12 to 15 reps and have that be pretty tiring, that's a good spot to be at. Let's do one more with this. Now you can switch sides. So of course, the first time you're trying a move, you might need to do a 10-pound weight or a 5-pound weight or a 15 or something like that. But if you're noticing, hey, I can do 15 and it's really not challenging me, you're going to get better results going ahead and raising that weight. So today we're kind of getting a feel for stuff, and then you'll know for next time if you could have done some more.
This weight
you'll
is
have
pretty amicable for me.
that one feels pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks good. It looks like the right amount for the time being. Perfect. Let's do 2 more of these. Nice job. Good. Okay, nice work. You can put that back. And so you might have noticed on him, he pushed the weight really strongly, but then as he lowered it, it started getting a little bit shaky. When we push the weight, it's called the concentric portion of the movement. When we lower the weight, it's called the eccentric. We actually gain more strength with the eccentric portion, the lowering, than we do with the push. So when we circle back and do that one again, I'm gonna have you really focus on lowering it nice and slow. So
Yeah, I felt the burn on that last one.
You did. And do you find a difference with arms as well?
Definitely.
Which arm was tougher?
I'm left-handed, so it was easier to carry with my left hand.
Ah,
rather than
you're
my
a
right.
lefty. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so we'll do bicep curls next. You can do the 2 weights for that one. So for bicep curls, we'll have the knees slightly bent. You'll have the palms forward, and you can stand right there. Yeah, we'll come up, and we'll go down. And as you're doing that, Ellen, just make sure your shoulders are over your hips and that you're not forward.
Okay.
Perfect. So up and down like that. Beautiful. Good. It is good to have those knees slightly bent. That helps us get more abs and less strain on our back.
All right,
Perfect.
more abs.
More abs.
That's what I need.
Going for the 6-pack, right?
Yes. Tired of the keg.
Yeah. Sweet. Good. Okay, let's do 3 more of these. Perfect. So exhaling as you lift, inhale in the down. Inhale and exhale up. Perfect. A couple more. Good. Really nice.
All righty.
Looks like you've had some practice with that one.
Yes. A bit. I'm getting there.
So let's do 2nd round of overhead shoulder press. This one.
Okay.
You can do this one facing forward this time. So we'll go up and down, hand on the waist. And you're actually smart to start with the arm that's tougher for you.
Exactly.
That's good to get it out of the way. But he threw me a curveball being a lefty. I didn't know that about you.
Surprise.
I know, right? What else don't I know?
A man of many mysteries.
Yeah, Alan works for me, so I thought I knew a lot about him, but you know, there's always more to learn and uncover, I guess.
Most definitely.
Good? Perfect. Try to keep your head straight as you do it. We don't want to have the neck muscles compensate for the arm. Let's do last one. Very nice. And switch it up.
Alrighty.
This also will work his abs because when he's got a weight in one arm, the opposite side abs are doing some work. So for this instance, it's his right abs that are helping hold him in the center. So if you guys see him kind of tipping, that's showing us that his abs aren't really jumping in. He looks pretty stable to me, which is great. But that is something to watch out for on your own when you're working out. If you're in the mirror, you want to check and make sure that your body looks neutral and it isn't swaying to the side even while you're doing the movement. Let's do last one. Perfect. That looks great. Now, when you work out at home, do you keep a pace like this generally?
Yes. I like to not let the pace die out because then I get lazy and I don't want to do anymore.
Oh, so by keeping it going, it keeps you like on task.
Motivated, so to speak. Yeah.
Cool. I like it. Yeah. Let's do 2nd set of bicep curls.
Alrighty. Both.
Yeah, you can do the 2 weights.
Bend the knees.
Bend the knees a little bit. And then make sure those shoulders are over the hips for me. You got it. I do recommend having a mirror at home, even if it's just one of those lean against the wall, kind of like changing mirror type things so that we can see the form. If you don't have that, you can always open up a laptop and film yourself and kind of peek in. And that will be good for the feedback because how we're doing the exercises matters. If you're doing a movement and your body's all out of whack, it's not going to give you good results. Best case and worst case, it could actually cause injury. Let's do last 2. So when I'm watching him, I can give him these tips. But then when you're working out by yourself, who knows what's going on? So I do recommend, even for myself, I have to work out with a mirror nearby or else I'm not gonna do it right. And if I'm a trainer and I can't do something right, then most people are really gonna struggle. So a little pro tip for you there. So we are going to move into the last 2 movements of the day here. The first one will be an exercise called dumbbell shrugs. So you're gonna grab those weights. You can go ahead and grab them right now. And you'll stand next to me. And we're gonna have the weights right in front. You're going to shrug your shoulders up like you're trying to cover your ears. And then you're gonna slowly lower them down. That's all this one is. You do want to keep your elbows straight. Perfect. Keep the weights touching your body. Yep, good. Nice. This one works the upper back. Perfect. How does this feel?
I definitely feel it on the upper back rather than the curls.
Right.
You feel in the front muscles.
Absolutely. Good.
Feels like an all-around workout.
Yep. Yeah, we've tried to hit pretty much everything here. Full body workout. Let's do 2 more of these. Beautiful. Breathing was great. All right, so you can set those weights down for a moment. Okay, and then the next move will be squats with the weights held to your shoulder. So he's gonna take his 2 weights, he's gonna hold them right at his shoulders. And then he's gonna widen his stance, squat down, and press his body up, all while holding those weights right to those shoulders. So you can grab those 2 and we'll give that a shot.
Okay.
You wanna have them so they're right on top of your shoulders if you can. Yeah, perfect.
Alrighty.
Sweet. So inhale down, exhale push, gorgeous. That's great. Nice. Squats, like I said with the other leg movements, very great calorie burner for him, and especially when we add the weight. So let's do another 3 of those. There is no depth that's too deep as long as your form is good. And I'll explain a bit more about what we're looking for with good form in a moment. Perfect, you can set those down. So when we do squats, what we want to see is that the core stays neutral. So if I'm here and I'm doing my squat, my back should look like it doesn't change very much, meaning that it doesn't start rounding or it doesn't arch a lot, but rather it stays neutral as I'm doing it. If I'm able to do that and get my butt really close to the floor, then that's totally fine. On the other hand, if you start moving your back all around or you're feeling pain in your back, you would want to stop at a higher height because your body is telling you that it's not quite ready for that. Okay. But you looked good, so I think what you were doing is perfect. Okay. Let's go ahead with the second set of the shrugs. You'll also notice that when I do the pairings of the 2 exercises, we tend to alternate upper and lower body. That's a great strategy. You can go ahead and do your shrugs. This guy here. That's a great strategy when we're doing these more rapid movement from one to the next, because while you're letting your arms recover, you're then moving into legs. On the other hand, if you were to do a workout that was more strength-based and you weren't necessarily looking for calorie burning and weight loss, then you could stick with upper body and do a full workout of just that. But for the weight loss stuff, I tend to like the alternation of the upper and the lower body. Good job. Let's do 3 more of these. Perfect. All right. You can take a little break. I do like to have people rest the weights between exercises, even if it's just quick, because our forearm muscles do get fatigued holding the weights, and it tends to cause problems if we try to just connect it all. Now, if you're used to the exercises and you've done them many times, you can feel free to hold the weights and just continue on. But especially when you're learning things new, I do like that little bit of a rest, just so that we can give our grip a break and give our back a little bit of a break. So you can go ahead and show me your squats for the last set. And we'll try holding those weights right to your shoulders. And actually, let's do a side view. You can go ahead and spin sideways, perfect, and you can show me that way. And so you can see here that his back is staying fairly neutral, which is great. So at the very bottom of the squat, if somebody's butt kind of tucks and disappears, we call that a butt wink. And that's when your butt like spins under. He's doing well with that. So I think we're good with this depth, but that's something to watch out for as well. Good. Stance-wise, you're free to do wide, close, whatever feels most comfortable. Everybody's hips are built a little bit differently. You can do last 2, Alan. So we do want to choose the stance that feels best to us. There's no right or wrong way to do a squat in that sense. Awesome job. You can set those back. Okay, so that was his workout. We did 10 different movements. We did 2 sets for the majority of them. I think that's a great amount if you are looking for that toning and that weight loss effect. If you actually work out too long, what can happen to our body is we can elevate a hormone in the body called cortisol. Have you heard of cortisol before?
No, enlighten me.
Sure. So cortisol is a hormone that is known as the stress hormone. If we drink a lot of alcohol, eat a lot of sugar, or just generally have stress in our lives, that hormone can elevate, and what that does is it causes us to gain more weight around our stomach especially.
Okay.
So obviously weight around our stomach isn't the goal. So workouts that are longer than say an hour can actually cause more weight gain around the abdomen. And so I generally don't recommend that. On the other hand, you could do, 45 minutes in the morning and then 45 minutes later in the day, and your body would generally respond better to that than if you tried to do, say, an hour and a half all in a row.
Oh, wow, that's shocking. I was under the impression that you're supposed to work out at least 40 minutes to get your core warmed up in order to be able to burn actual body fat.
Yeah, so burning body fat is an interesting thing because basically what we need to have happen to burn body fat is we need to have our carbohydrate stores out of our bloodstream so that our body can tap into the fat. So if you're eating a high carb diet, it might take you 40 minutes to get to the point where you're burning fat. But if you're eating a little bit of a leaner diet or you haven't eaten that day and you're working out on an empty stomach, you're going to start to burn the fat right away.
Okay.
So if you do that, you're going to get that fat burning result without needing to do that extra long workout. But if you wanted to do a workout like this and then maybe go for a quick jog, that would be totally fine. I would just suggest keeping the entire session to under an hour if you're really wanting that great toning results without increasing your cortisol in your body.
Okay.
Okay. So do you have any questions about this workout?
No, it's been awesome. Thank you for having me here.
Of course, yeah. So I will tell everybody at home that a workout like this is best done approximately 3 times per week. If you do more than that, what can happen is we can actually tear our muscles apart a little bit more. So this is your muscle, okay? When you work out, the muscle starts gently tearing apart. We want that to happen. That's what helps us become stronger. But if we don't rest, the muscle doesn't heal up and kind of re-solidify itself like this. So what happens if we don't take rest day is the muscle keeps tearing, and it could eventually actually tear and cause a muscle injury. So the goal is to kind of tear the muscles a bit as we work out, but then give them ample time to knit back together like that. So if you have that day in between, you're more than welcome to go for a walk, a jog, or a bike ride on the day in between. That's not going to interfere with the healing process. But if you were to lift the weights 6-7 days a week, that's generally not going to be the healthiest option for you.
Okay.
So do you feel like a workout like this you could fit into your routine 3 times per week?
Most definitely.
Yeah?
Yes.
Cool. Well, this is a custom workout for you, so hopefully you'll be able to take this home and start implementing it.
Thank you very much.
And I think
Really
that'll be
appreciate
awesome.
it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Thanks for being here, and I thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.